Hey, beautiful people, it's Rakina back with another video. So, in this video is day 47 of Strong in 75. So, what we're going to talk about is when to use and when not to use your credit cards. So, we're going to definitely go over our utilization sheets to kind of use it as an example. This is what day 47 is. You guys probably already went over it today. In your workbooks, or maybe you watch the videos first and then you go over it in your workbooks. But I want to talk to you guys when to use versus when to leave unused. So it's smart to use your credit cards regularly, but not all at once. And the reason why you don't want to use all at once is because you don't want to mess up your utilization. So a card that never gets used might be closed by the bank, while maxing out a card can damage your utilization. So you do have to have a balance with that. So I always try to tell people to make sure it don't get closed. Make sure you use it every 6 months, and then to make sure that you're not using too much of it, just make sure that you keep your utilization under that 10% and make sure you're paying your statement balance by the due date. So the key is to rotate small charges across your card and pay them off early. So today we're going to write down a plan to use your cards wisely, what to charge, when to pay, and how to keep your cards healthy. Some people like to have certain cards for certain things depending on how much they're going to give in cash back. So we had the pre-qualify with no hard inquiry list up, I think yesterday or maybe the day before, when we was talking about these credit cards. So some people, let's act like we look at some of let's look at the credit cards that's on our list. Let's not look at the pre-qualified list. So depending on what credit cards you have, you may need it for certain things. So like we got the care credit. Anytime you have a doctor visit, you got a copay or whatever, you have to do in terms of maybe our dental work. You're going to use your care credit, and you should be getting a cleaning every 6 months. So you should be using that card. So that way you can make sure that you're using your care credit one, and then that you're just not going to overload charges unless you have to get like some dental work done, and then you'll go ahead and get the dental work that you had to get done. But other than that, you're not going to overload it, if you know what I mean. You're not going to overload that card. And then if you have your Navy Federal, and your Navy Federal, you use that as just your base. If you want to use that credit card for anything, you're going to use it for, if you have any purchases where you're not getting a lot of cash back for a specific thing, then you're going to use that one because that can just give your base percentage back. Maybe use your mission lane just for like rare emergencies, like, oh dang, I forgot this or I forgot that, let me add this. Or maybe you put your Netflix on there where you pay on Netflix every month with that one. Your lows, you use that for, maybe using that for purchases for around the house. Maybe you use that for, maybe you do a yearly cruise or something. I love that you can get like you can get like the Carnival gift cards. You can get other gift cards with them, and you can do 0%. And like right now it's July, so they do like 0% for 18 months. So maybe you just take advantage of that, so that you don't, that way you put some charges on there, and then you just slowly pay it off. That way you're using it, and they're going to be able to keep your limit high too. You see, it's a $0 balance with a $7,000 limit. If you're not using it, they're going to drop that limit too. So I'd rather you use it. Maybe you use your Discover for when you go to Discover Secure. It is good for 2% back at restaurants and gas station. Maybe you use that only for your gas, you know. But that's how you would break it up to make sure that you're using it. But at the same time, you make sure that you're not using more than that 10%. That would be the thing. You want to make sure that you say, okay, I understand I'm gonna put some purchases on here, but I don't want to put too much. So you make sure you stay under that 10%, unless you're doing like what I told you with Lowe's. You want to put like a 0% thing on there. Then you want to average out your overall utilization. So that would change. And also this is 0% too. This one goes until October 12th. It's July 1st right now. So we still got months to finish paying on that one. So it just depends on your situation. I tell people just to break it up, just to say, hey, I'm going to use this one for that card. That way you just rotate them. So I want you guys to write down the plan on how you're going to use your cards wisely. Okay, so figure out which credit cards you got, and you see how I said, oh, well, you get this for that, so I'm gonna use it for this. Care credit, I'm gonna use that when I go to the dentist, when I go to the doctors. Any of the kids have dentals, I'm gonna use the care credit. You just pay the statement balance on there, so you don't get charged interest. And God forbid you gotta do some type of root canal or something like that, you throw that on that card, 0%. Hopefully you have a 0% at wherever you're at, and you go ahead and pay it off that way. but that's how you're gonna be able to keep those cards going. So you guys can rotate your usage every few months to keep the accounts open. I don't forget, I tell you, like every 6 months, just go and use the card. Like go to Walmart. You know you can get a lot of stuff at Walmart. Just say, hey, scan $20. Once you get to about $20, let me know, and you swipe that card. Just tell them once you get to about $20 on each of your card, just tell them to let you know, and you just swipe it so you can keep your cards open. Make sure that you guys are letting some cards, or if not all your cards, report under a 10%, and then others at $0 if you can. Don't use all of your credit just because you have it available. So today I want to plan your rotation system across all cards. So I want you guys to figure out how you're going to rotate those cards, because it's going to be a big thing. We talked about getting a lot of cards. We already sent out our first month disputes. You got the results back from that. You did your second round disputes, and you just want to make sure that you're doing good going forward, because you don't want to mess up your credit. Okay. So I want you guys to make sure you guys plan the rotation with these credit cards. And if you guys ever have any questions, definitely let me know. Let's see what we got going on tomorrow. Oh, so we're talking about soft pull versus hard pull. So a lot of people don't even understand that soft pulls are so much better than those hard pulls, because them hard inquiries going to really hurt your credit. So we're going to talk about the difference between a soft pull and a hard pull. If you guys have not gotten your workbooks, make sure you guys get your workbooks, because you can just flip through it. And I am creating a miniature book that you really can read in like a day or two. It's up to you. That's going to break it down in 30 days instead of 75 days. It's going to help you fast track it to get even faster results. So I want you guys to definitely just make sure you putting your stuff in your workbook, still doing your workouts. So first thing in the morning, I make sure that I'm I'm still doing my walking. And I'm just, with the new thing I have down on my treadmill, what I can do is I can just set my timer, and I just get my walk on, and I try to make sure I get my workouts in. So make sure you guys are still getting your workouts in, still doing your water, and make sure that if you are not at your 4 credit cards, continuously, like I said, try to see if you can pre-qualify. When you see that Credit Karma said that your credit score went up, you want to make sure that you take advantage of your credit score going up and pre-qualify for those credit cards that were on your list. And don't forget, for those people who haven't gotten the course yet, if you pay for the course, you will be able to get the workbook for free. So definitely sign up for that. And again, if you guys ever have any questions, definitely let me know. I'm still just doing work. Just still doing work right now, helping my clients right now. So I definitely want to stay here with you all, and my homework is my top priority too. So hopefully you guys are staying on top of everything. Again, if y'all have any questions, definitely let me know. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.